Anthony Joshua almost brawls with Jake Paul at press conference. As soon as the face-off started, Joshua stepped forward because Jake Paul wouldn't stop talking. Jake kept running his mouth, and Joshua finally had enough. He moved in fast, ready to shut him up, and security had to jump in before it turned into a real fight.
Humble yourself. Yes,
You're under his car.
You work for me Saturday night. I'm still your landlord.
Yeah.
Don't forget that. I'm still your landlord.
Spencer Oliver says he truly believes after watching the press conference that Jake Paul actually thinks he can just step into range and knock Anthony Joshua out. But in reality, that confidence only proves how badly Anthony Joshua will punish him in the ring. Because walking into Anthony Joshua's range is the quickest way to get destroyed.
I truly believe, watching the press conference yesterday, I truly believe that he believes he's going to win the fight. He's got to just get into range, land a shot, and he'll knock Anthony Joshua out. Well,
Anthony Joshua points out that Jake Paul keeps talking about his story and other fighters, acting like that makes him tough. Anthony Joshua makes it clear that talking doesn't win fights, action does. While Jake Paul runs his mouth, Anthony Joshua is focused on proving what he has actually done in the ring.
It reminds me of like one of those budget YouTube hood movies where someone just talks about their whole life and what they've come from and talking as if they're from one of the ghettos in Iraq or Africa or somewhere like that. But you know, he's got a sob story, he's running by it, and that's what makes him feel better, so we respect it. I just kind of listened and said my piece.
And you said to him, what have you done? Tell us what you've done.
Because as I said, like, you line up all the heavyweights, he was just talking about, oh, he's this, he's that, he's that. I said, but why are you worrying about what someone else has done? What have you done as a fighter?
Jake Paul is trying to sound confident, telling everyone he has a tough opponent and that fans need to buy the pay-per-view. But in reality, he's nervous and distracted. All talk and no action. Spencer Oliver would say this shows Jake Paul is all hype, and Anthony Joshua is ready to dominate the moment they meet in the ring.
Opponent in front of me, everyone needs to get the pay-per-view, the zone, pull up, be there. But man, I'm just focused on Chavez. He's a former world champion, and
Duke McKenzie explains that Jake Paul is a soft target, and the promoter's just giving him easy fights to build confidence. Anthony Joshua doesn't need hype or easy wins. He thrives on real competition. Every time Jake Paul steps into the ring with Anthony Joshua, it becomes obvious that he is outmatched, and Anthony Joshua is ready to show why he is the real heavyweight force.
I do really well at it when I'm doing it, really. I'm just really hungry and motivated still.
Alexander Usyk makes it clear that Anthony Joshua is on another level and could finish Jake Paul easily. He calls Jake Paul a showman and a YouTuber, not a real boxer. The difference in class is obvious, and every fan watching should understand that Anthony Joshua's skill and Olympic background put him in a completely different league than Jake Paul, who relies on hype and social media attention.
Anthony Joshua won. Anthony killed this guy. Listen, a lot of questions, blah blah blah. Only one my answer. Anthony Joshua is Olympic champion. First. Jake Paul, it's sportsman, YouTuber, showman.
Eddie Hearn gives some credit, but admits watching Jake Paul shows the fight isn't competitive. Anthony Joshua's talent overshadows all of Jake Paul's hype. Even fans who are curious will see that Anthony Joshua is far superior, and any notion of an upset is unrealistic because skill, experience, and power belong entirely to Anthony Joshua.
So you have to give him credit, and I'm a big fan. I don't want to, when I watched it back, I saw a few people, oh, Eddie's a hater. I'm not a hater, I think he's the goods. But I don't think that was competitive.
Tony Bellew admits Jake Paul is better than people expect, but stresses that taking on Anthony Joshua is a whole different story. Experience and class make the difference, and Anthony Joshua can punish anyone stepping into his ring. Jake Paul may be confident, but Anthony Joshua's skill, power, and timing will decide the outcome long before hype can matter.
Better than what people think he is.
He is better than people think he is, but doesn't mean you can take on the former unified heavyweight champion of the world. I know some white collar fighters who are really good, but you ain't getting in with me, and I'm 42. I'll take your whiskers off your chin.
Derek Chisora believes this fight will be an easy night for Anthony Joshua. He points out that Jake Paul has no chance against someone of Anthony Joshua's caliber. Every step into the ring will expose him, and Anthony Joshua will dominate without needing to take risks. Fans should expect Jake Paul to be overwhelmed because Anthony Joshua's power, experience, and precision make him unstoppable. This is a fight where Anthony Joshua proves why he is a true heavyweight champion.
Easy fight for him. And I think this should be laid to rest because I don't think AJ's going to go in and try and pat. AJ's going to smoke him.
Don Charles admits surprise that Jake Paul is even in the same ring as Anthony Joshua. He knows the skill gap is massive, and it's almost unthinkable that a YouTuber would face a real champion. Anthony Joshua brings real boxing credentials and experience that Jake Paul cannot match. Even if the fight is officially on, everyone watching can see the mismatch. Anthony Joshua is ready to show why he is a top heavyweight, and Jake Paul is just out of his depth.
And I'm surprised at that because you just wouldn't put Jake Paul in the same ring as Anthony Joshua, surely. But if it's for real, then it's for real. May the best man win. And I know, come on, gosh, this is like, yeah, the world has changed, It really has.
Adam Smith points out that Anthony Joshua can win whenever he chooses. His skill and power are unmatched. The only question is how he will approach the fight and manage the early rounds. Jake Paul has no answer for someone with Anthony Joshua's talent and conditioning. Even after a long break, Anthony Joshua's focus, timing, and power will make him the dominant fighter. Fans can expect a methodical but devastating performance that leaves Jake Paul overwhelmed.
Jay should win whenever he wants to win, but will he want to win early? Will he want to get some rounds in, being inactive for 14 months to prepare him for 2026?
Adam Smith points out that Anthony Joshua can win whenever he chooses. His skill and power are unmatched. The only question is how he will approach the fight and manage the early rounds. Jake Paul has no answer for someone with Anthony Joshua's talent and conditioning. Even after a long break, Anthony Joshua's focus, timing, and power will make him the dominant fighter. Fans can expect a methodical but devastating performance that leaves Jake Paul overwhelmed.
Don't count him out. I think that's a very dangerous fight for Jake Paul. But at the end of the day, we could have a big upset, but
Spencer Oliver explains why he is confident in Anthony Joshua. He knows Anthony Joshua's pride and determination and says that Jake Paul has no chance against someone so focused. Anthony Joshua will come out aggressive and assertive, leaving Jake Paul struggling to keep up. Fans should expect a performance where Anthony Joshua dominates every exchange, proving that hype and social media fame cannot match real skill and power. Jake Paul is completely outclassed, and Anthony Joshua's intensity will decide the fight early.
Feeling very close to the win picking Anthony Joshua because I know Joshua and I know him well, and he's a proud guy, and he will not want to lose any respect from this, and he knows that he's got to get this job done. So expect to see an aggressive Anthony Joshua, which is only bad for Jake Paul.
Anthony Joshua makes it clear he is fully prepared and hungry for competition. He is focused on action and cannot wait to prove himself in the ring. Jake Paul can hype himself all he wants, but Anthony Joshua is already thinking about how to dominate every exchange. This shows the difference between a real champion and a showman. Every step Anthony Joshua takes is calculated, and every punch is purposeful. Jake Paul has nothing like this preparation or focus. Anthony Joshua's mindset and readiness make him the dangerous and unstoppable force in this matchup, and the fans are about to witness a masterclass.
Last fight, it's great because Anthony is Olympic champion. Francis Ngannou, it's second fight for boxing. Listen, people.
Derek Chisora warns that Anthony Joshua cannot take it easy in this fight because Jake Paul will not last long against real power and skill. He points out that if the fight goes beyond a few rounds, people will question Jake Paul's credibility. Anthony Joshua has a history of finishing opponents decisively, and he is capable of doing the same here. Fans should expect Anthony Joshua to dominate early and decisively. Jake Paul is facing a fighter who hits hard, moves smart, and has championship experience, making it impossible for him to survive multiple rounds against Anthony Joshua.
I told Anthony, I already messaged Anthony. I said, listen, I tell you what, I said to AJ, if this goes past 5 rounds, everybody's gonna be having a go at you because you can't go past 5 rounds with this kid. He has to go past 1 round or 2 rounds. Past beyond 4 or 5 rounds, you know, people are gonna be doubting you as a fighter himself. So he has to smoke him out like what he did Francis Ngannou in Saudi Arabia in 1 round.
The build-up to this fight has been full of hype and talk from Jake Paul, but every sign points to Anthony Joshua dominating from the opening bell. Anthony Joshua's focus, experience, and power put him in a completely different league than Jake Paul, who relies on social media fame and overconfidence. Every analyst, trainer, and former champion agrees that Anthony Joshua is the real deal, and his Olympic background, precision, and ability to finish fights make him nearly untouchable. Jake Paul might hope for an early shot or a lucky punch, but Anthony Joshua controls the range, the timing, and the pace. The press conference antics, the constant talk, and the overconfidence from Jake Paul only highlight how unprepared he is for a true heavyweight. Fans should expect Anthony Joshua to be aggressive, methodical, and devastating in every round. This is not just a fight. It is a lesson in what separates a real champion from a showman. Anthony Joshua has everything it takes to prove why he is one.